Hello, great folks. It's a brand new quarter on Amogate Radio Communications, and we thank the Lord of all the universe for the gift of life and sanity as we continuously attain rationality. Okay, and our theme this quarter is Lagos as the economic gateway of Africa, prospects and possibilities. Yes, Lagos as the economic gateway of Africa, prospects and possibilities. I'm your uncle Abiodun Abari. Thanks for joining me for another impactful and informative time this quarter, as usual. Okay. The economy of Lagos, we are focused over this quarter, and we'll be looking at how Lagos can actually in reality fulfill its potentials, its God-given potentials, and be able to power that African economic proficiency. Okay, that's elusive African economic proficiency. Okay, so Lagos can be pivotal, yes, to Africa's economic boom. Okay, we'll take a deep dive into the Lagos economy to give you adequate insight into how Lagos can deliver and be this impactful. All right, so today our focus will be on delivering an adequate overview of what we have for the quarter, and we'll be having that perspective of the cup half full. Okay, that prism. All right, so talking about prospects and possibilities. All right, so of course along the way we deal with the challenges. Okay, the challenge is as much as possible be able to achieve early risk visibility, okay, so that we can prevent and if we have so much influence, we can seize, and if not, we mitigate. All right, prevent, seize, mitigate. Okay, so we look at Lagos, very strategic when it comes to the Nigerian context, African context. Look at something like a place like New York. Okay, that also has a port. Okay, being the economic or financial capital of the United States, right? And Lagos also having the occupying that kind of position, being the economic powerhouse of Nigeria, right? So when you look at the stock exchange and the Nigerian exchange NGX, okay, also look at Lagos's position as regards the African continental free trade area. All right, so Lagos is strategic, and we talk about Lagos in terms of being the economic gateway of Africa, right? So being financial capital. Well, you have the headquarters of corporations, of multinational corporations, in Lagos. Okay, trade hub in Lagos. All right, from Lagos Island, talking about even retail trade, wholesale trade, talking of fast-moving consumer goods. Okay. Especially when it comes to Lagos Island, Balogun, and all the rest of people coming from all over Africa, right, to able to latch on to that trade bug, right? So, and talk about logistics too, port infrastructure, okay, majorly in Lagos, like a deep sea port and all that, even tech and innovation. So Lagos is also seen as Africa's Silicon Valley, okay, so to speak. So the tech hub is up and thriving, and innovation is right there, in Lagos. And agriculture, especially aquaculture, fishing, and the aquatic splendor. Talking about the natural resources of Lagos, and of course multimodal transportation too. Opportunities for multimodal transportation, waterways, road transportation, and of course rail transport. Talking about the mass of people, 25 million people, and much people. Many people need to be transported, and multimodal transportation, the way to go. All right. So, and the demographics is an advantage, of course, for Lagos. The population, and you have international investors who wanted to have the access, to it, and so Lagos can then be that gateway, gateway to the $3 trillion market, African market, and the 1.4 over 1.4 billion people on the continent too. Okay, so Lagos can be that critical gateway. All right, so Lagos is the foremost economic and business gateway to Africa, and we'll be talking about being the second largest city economy in Africa, GDP wise, approaching $300 billion, right? And of course, it's almost 30% of the Nigerian economy, GDP wise, right? And Lagos actually handles 70% of maritime cargo in Nigeria. So when you look at that large consumer market, is an advantage, and these we look at the consumer, the culture of consumption in Lagos. Okay, you see that it's diverse, and it's something that is robust, right? Something that can liken to the consumption culture in the United States, right? So it's just a dream market for producers, a dream market for corporations, okay, to be able to optimize profit and take advantage of that robust consumption culture of Lagos. Lagos people are allowed, so to speak, and they just have to try to always like to turn it up. Talking about Dirty December in Lagos, that creative economy, the entertainment, that actually draws people from all over the world during the Yuletide. So, talking about that unique positioning of Lagos, being that melting point of natural resources and digital, financial, and physical infrastructure, okay, and as well as innovation, okay, innovation being the third leg. Yes, I talk about Lagos in terms of being that rare melting point of natural resources and digital, financial, and physical infrastructure. And the third leg is innovation. People of Lagos are very, very, very innovative. Lagos is just holds the innovative hub, of Nigeria, and by extension Africa. Okay, you have a lot of tech innovation going out of Lagos, especially in time in fintech. Okay. Of some kind of startups, and which have done quite very well, been able to distinguish themselves in their specialization, right? And the success story are there, having over 2,500 startups in Lagos, and the innovation hub is something that can be said to be thriving. Yeah, so you have a massive, youthful, tech-savvy population, okay, in Lagos, and we're talking about that robust labor force, that ever-present middle class that actually drives innovation and also drive consumption, ever-consuming that, middle class syndrome, how it goes. So, talking about Lagos, which actually facilitates the bulk of Nigeria's international regional trade. Okay, talking about this strategic nature of the Lekki Seaport, which actually handles majority of the country's cargo. All right, so talking about massive supply chain networks, right? And the major food logistics hub. Okay, talking about how agricultural products are distributed across the region. The role that Lagos plays is something that is worthy of mention and worthy of exploiting. The location of the NGX, Nigerian Exchange, in Lagos, and having quite a number of the headquarters of corporations, of multinationals in Lagos. So you can practically say that Lagos controls the flow of capital in the region. There's that need for Lagos to be able to cement its status as a world-class financial district, tailored to global play, global financial play, global corporate play, okay, as it were. Okay, so undisputably, Lagos is Africa's Silicon Valley, and you see that coalition point for venture capitalists and startups. All right, like I said, you have over 2,500 startups, okay, tech startups in Lagos, and you see that the city's tech ecosystem actually benefits from the extensive digital infrastructure that exists in Lagos. Okay, so surely the extensive digital infrastructure, relatively extensive, okay, feeds the tech ecosystem, okay, the benefit, and that drives innovation, okay, that actually impacts innovation. All right, talking about infrastructure in terms of submarine cables, in terms of hyperscale data centers, and so on. So critical infrastructure, okay, that can actually support high scale innovation. Right? So you can say that Lagos is the digital nerve center of West Africa, right, and by extension Africa. So it's, when talking in terms of innovation ecosystem, Lagos is the most vibrant, right? And its positioning as regards the African continental free trade area, it's actually central. Okay, Lagos is well positioned at the center of the African continental free trade area, and you talk about that demographic advantage, all right, and you also talk about the connectivity, all right, connectivity in terms of the networks and the infrastructure that that Lagos brings to the table. Okay, so Lagos itself is about 4.67% of Africa in terms of GDP, and of course approaching about 30% of Nigeria's GDP, while Nigeria itself is about 17.5% of Africa's GDP. So, and like I said earlier, Lagos presents that rare melting point of natural resources, digital, financial, and physical infrastructure, and of course innovation. At this point, we would like to take a break, and when we come back, it's still Lagos as the economic gateway of Africa, prospects and possibilities. Stay with us.
At Armor Gates Training, we believe professional development should do more than inform. It should transform how people work, lead, and deliver results. That's why we support organizations through conceptual insight, practical learning, and performance evaluation right at the intersection of leadership, strategy, and institutional transformation. Our approach focuses on practical learning format that professionals can immediately apply in their workplace. At Armor Gate, we don't teach theory alone. We equip participants with real-world insight drawn from almost 2 decades of organizational transformation experience. Our programs combine multiple learning methods designed for real-time measurable results. Through seminars, we facilitate deep conversation on key subjects. Using group exercises, participants collaborate, reflect, and think strategically. With case studies, they then sharpened analytical and decision-making skills using real industry scenarios. Through relevant videos, we spark insightful discussions using relatable real-life context. All in all, every participant develops an individual work plan, ensuring the learning turns into real action after the program. Our training programs are hosted in world-class venues across global cities, including Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Mombasa, Cape Town, Dubai, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, London, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Let's work with you to turn learning into your organization's growth. For more inquiries, call +234 807 9574 151 or WhatsApp +1 610 504 6026. Visit www.thearmorgate.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Armorgate. Armorgate Training, transforming knowledge, interaction, and growth.
Now, welcome back. It's still Lagos as the economic gateway of Africa, prospects and possibilities on Armorgate Radio Communications, and I'm your host, Abiodun Abari. Yes, so we're talking about Lagos and the potentials for being the economic powerhouse, economic gateway for the whole of Africa. Okay, looking at the prospects and possibilities, looking at the cup from the prism of full. All right. So you look at if Lagos were a country, and look at where Lagos will rank, in terms of GDP among the countries in Africa. Okay, and that's very, very significant to consider. All right, so to rank as one of the top 15 largest economy in Africa, easily. All right. So thereby it's actually shows that it's a powerhouse when it comes to the economy for Africa. Okay, that's a very solid basis. All right, so international investors who actually want to seek opportunities in energy, petrochemicals, manufacturing, even logistics, all right, can easily choose Lagos as an investment destination of choice. Okay, because it offers that convergence for them. Okay, that Lagos advantage. You're talking about the geographical connectivity. Okay. In terms of the global supply chain, right, that industries have to rely on for efficient operations, right, that bring value to their stakeholders, right. So, and being the epicenter for industry and commerce, okay, that actually address those issues for Africa in terms of logistics, all right. So, and even Nigeria, the percentage of industrial output that Lagos produces is about 65%, all right. And Nigeria's strategic position in Africa as being the largest oil producer, okay, and puts Lagos in that position, okay, to be able to dominate that petrochemical and manufacturing, in terms of value addition to the petroleum sector. Okay, so look at that. The influx of investment in the energy sector, can actually help reduce Africa's reliance on imported petroleum products, and that's what we see with the Dangote refinery, and also trying to expand to other African countries. Okay, but currently, you see Lagos actually stepping up and helping cover that import bill, replace that import bill for Africa. Okay, so those are things that can still be optimized. I believe opportunities for optimization still exist. Okay, so also while advancing also renewable energy initiatives to bridge gaps in power infrastructure, especially in rural and remote areas. So it is my fervent belief that that will be industrial expansion, okay, and that will actually be driven by technological innovation. Okay, there'll be new ways of doing things that actually push our industries to be able to produce more. Okay, better products, more efficient products that will serve humanity better. All right, and I also believe that the regulatory environment will also be more and more pragmatic and allow businesses to thrive, so that the economy can be well taken care of. Okay, so of course the infrastructure of Lagos still needs to be expanded to be able to cope and to be able to that capacity to deliver, okay, for businesses too. Okay, that mix that provides the right business environment. Okay, very very important that the infrastructure is continuously improved to be able to ensure that Lagos serves as that economic powerhouse for Africa. All right, so talking about logistical inefficiencies, talking about being able to boost trade and supply chains across Africa. All right, so and also the attraction of foreign direct investment. All right, that will also foster job creation. That's very important to helping the economy. Okay, not just in Lagos but across Africa. All right, so you understand the Lagos, the role Lagos has to play. Okay, we are doing the overview. Okay, various sectors and looking at how significant. Okay, it will be very very important going forward to really understand and put in purpose perspective Lagos is pivotal position, strategic position in the powering Africa's economic proficiency. Like I said, investment in physical infrastructure very very important. Okay, like especially in railway. Okay, so that the movement of goods, okay, will be well facilitated. Right, so especially standard gauge railway. Okay, looking at the Lagos Ibadan, okay, it needs to be really extended and all over the country so that goods can be well facilitated and the connection can be well made with other parts of Africa. Okay, other cities in Africa, even the road networks. Okay, looking at the Duroko highway, okay, the Uduroko highway or the Badagry Seme highway. Okay, these are highways that should be well expanded to be able to serve the corridor, that continental corridor, okay, to facilitate the movement of goods and services, and of course the waterways too. Okay, I know that the Omieko project is actually in the offing, and I just hope that to be well implemented. Okay, and because Lagos with this aquatic splendor can well take advantage of that mode of transport to be able to facilitate the movement of people and goods and in the economy, and able to impact the GDP. And you look at the city's strategic location, okay, being along the Atlantic coast. All right, so and that is actually a vital, critical gateway for trade across West Africa and Africa as a whole. So, and this is also being added to. This is in addition to the Lekki Free Trade Zone. That's Nigeria's first privately owned free trade zone. Okay, and that seamless integration with the Lekki deep sea ports, something that actually impacts Lagos's position, strategic position as the economic gateway for Africa. So, and of course, in terms of providing energy solutions for Africa, we understand that the energy deficit in Africa is a great hurdle. It's a great barrier when it comes to development in Africa. Okay, available energy, cheap energy will impact development. Okay, positively, and Lagos is actually at the forefront of tackling this issue. Large scale. I mentioned the $19 billion Dangote refinery, the other time. All right, and it's you see even improving their capacity, okay, to be able to serve more markets in Africa. All right, and they're even serving markets, okay, abroad too. All right, so and you also look at Lagos' strides and renewable energy development. Okay, So talking about how private investors have been able to come in with solar power projects, all right, and also look at the mini grid project in Ekpe, that's part of the interconnected mini grid access scheme, okay, under the Rural Electrification Agency. Of course, that's with support from the German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ. So, and you understand that apart from producing crude oil, refining crude oil, okay, which of course makes the Dangote refinery the largest single trade refinery in the world. Okay, it's also producing petrochemicals, which are very important for the manufacturing industries. Okay, chemicals, plastics, fertilizers for agriculture. Okay, and of course pharmaceuticals too. All right, so talking about that's nearness of the free trade zone to the refinery. All right, so that companies can actually enjoy the benefits, okay, and that can impact productivity, and of course that's competitive and competitive edge rather is very important, okay, and places Lagos at that core, okay, as that critical point being the economic gateway for Africa. And it is my belief that as Africa's development progresses, okay, as Africa urbanizes more and more, there will be more demand for infrastructure, okay, more demand for energy, more demand for goods that can impact the quality of life, okay. So Lagos can really assert itself, right? So terms of industrial dominance, terms of that's talking of trade infrastructure, digital infrastructure, financial infrastructure, physical infrastructure, and Lagos can really position itself as the economic gateway, the cornerstone in Africa's economic structure. Okay, and of course, the Lekki Free Trade Zone will really play a very, very key role in this, and looking at the hub and what is actually developing there, the Dangote investments and other investments coming up. Okay, talking about the axis, of course, the Lekki deep sea port, okay, that is handling majority of the cargo in Nigeria currently. All right. At this juncture, we've come to the end of the maiden episode, and until I come up with new devices again, please keep learning and keep impacting. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Harmogate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Harmogate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@theharmogate.org or call +234 810 999 6666, +234 807 957 4151, and +161 0504 6026. www.theharmogate.org. Harmogate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.